Imagine a world without Rome, without the British Empire, without any empire at all. It's not just about missing ancient ruins or grand palaces. Think deeper. How would our maps look? What languages would we speak? Would technology be as advanced or perhaps even more so? We often take our present for granted. But what if the very foundations of our societies, our borders, and even our technology were built on an entirely different path? The ripple effects could be astronomical, shaping everything we know. A world without empires is contemplated, delving into the profound ripple effects such an alternate history would have had on modern societies. The intricate tapestry of human development is unraveled, exploring how present-day cultures, borders, and technologies might have been shaped in a vastly different global landscape. Geographical, religious, and technological evolution. Without imperial conquest, current national borders would be unrecognizable, possibly a mosaic of thousands of smaller, more culturally homogeneous entities. For example, the modern-day Middle East, instead of being divided by Sykes-Picot lines, might be a patchwork of Assyrian, Kurdish, and various Arab tribal states, each with its own distinct governance. Religious diffusion would be dramatically different. Imagine regional spiritual practices flourishing without globalizing missionary efforts, meaning Buddhism might remain largely confined to parts of Asia, and Christianity might not have spread beyond the Levant without the Roman Empire's eventual adoption and expansion. Would technological advancements be slower without the pooling of resources and knowledge that empires sometimes facilitated, or faster due to intense local competition, potentially seeing isolated breakthroughs in mechanics or metallurgy without widespread dissemination? Global identities without empires. Consider the absence of colonial legacies, no scramble for Africa, no opium wars. This question asks how the cultural identities of nations and communities would have formed if they hadn't been subjected to foreign rule, imposed borders, and the introduction of new languages, potentially allowing for a greater variety of self-defined cultures to flourish. Would the concept of global power even exist in a world without historical superpowers like the British Empire or the Mongol Empire? This question explores whether a world without large, dominant empires would lead to a more balanced distribution of influence, with multiple regional powers rather than a few centralized global forces. Think about the food on your plate. Many staples like potatoes or tomatoes were spread globally by empires. This question prompts reflection on how our diets would differ if the widespread exchange of food crops and agricultural practices, often facilitated by imperial expansion, had not occurred, potentially leading to more localized and traditional food systems. Ultimately, would a world without empires be one of greater peace and self-determination? Or would the very absence of large unifying forces simply lead to a different, perhaps more localized form of conflict and isolation, eternally questioning whether our current interconnectedness, however imperfect, is a necessary byproduct of our imperial past? Well, we will never know.